Christmas in October is almost upon us. We are very, very close to the start of the Battlefield 2042 beta. Likely, as you're seeing this video, many of you are probably already preloading it or maybe even playing the game already, and that's okay. But I want to talk about the beta today and why it's so important for this game specifically and how I think we should approach this beta. Now, without further ado, remember, as always, if you do enjoy this video, to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, be sure to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also got to thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, be sure to check out that blue join button. Anyway, let's begin. We don't know too much about this game. It's kind of a mystery going into this beta for the very first time. We know some major details about it, such as the setting, of course, some of the weapons that are going to be included, and even a little bit about some of these mechanics. But as far as the minute-to-minute gameplay, the average gameplay loop, we really don't know all that much. We don't know how it's going to feel. We don't know what the time to kill is. We have an idea. I mean, we can break down trailers as much as we like, but we don't know until we get our hands on. So what's the deal with this game? How should we approach this beta with DICE keeping everything so close to the vest? Well, I think the biggest thing is to go in with an open mind. I think a lot of people struggled with the recent two titles after Battlefield 4 because a lot of people went into it kind of with a certain idea as to what a Battlefield game should be. And of course, there is a very fine outline of what makes a Battlefield game. Battlefield is not Arma, it's also not Call of Duty. It's somewhere in between, it's its own thing, but Battlefield can consist of many experiences that are still fun. I can enjoy Battlefield 4 in a very different way than I can enjoy Battlefield 1. So I think going into a game like 2042 with a certain expectation of what it should be within the bounds of Battlefield is not maybe the best idea. And I think some people going in with it kind of being a particular experience that they think it's going to be may end up costing them in the long run, because just because it's not a Battlefield 4 remake, for example, doesn't mean it can't be a fun game. It can still be a fun experience. It's just a little bit different than what BF4 was, and that's okay. Like I said, I can enjoy both BF4 and BF1 for very different reasons. They're still very enjoyable experiences though. Now, as for what I'm going to look for in the beta for myself personally in terms of how I'm going to enjoy this game, as well as a creator looking at it critically, I think there's definitely a few things. My biggest thing as a player is, can I enjoy this game even if I'm not playing well? I think that is the ultimate bar for a Battlefield game to hit, because it's a sandbox game at the end of the day. Sure, you can come in and you can want to play well. For some people, that is why they come in and play the game. Nothing wrong with that. But can I still come in and enjoy it without going 50-10? That's a big thing, because in games like Battlefield 4, sure, I may not be dominating the server, but when I C4 Jeep someone, it's kind of hilarious. Or when I jump out of a helicopter and shoot a tank with a SMAW and then hit it with my repair tool, yeah, that's pretty damn cool. May not be dominating the server, but it's still really fun nonetheless. And that, I think, is something that Battlefield 2042 needs to nail. And that's going to be the biggest thing that I look for in this game is it just fun? And this kind of ties into my next point, is of course the sandbox. Can I pick things up and either A, be effective with them, or B, be silly with them? Are objectives going to carry some kind of value, whether it's because of a strategic position or because there's, say, a helipad there and a helicopter spawns there? What kind of sandbox is going to be here, and how much fun is it going to make the experience? I think another thing, especially coming off of Battlefield 5, which is probably the most inconsistent game in the series, is, does this game play consistently? Now, that's not really counting in bugs per se. It's definitely a part of it. It's a beta, so I'm sure it's going to have bugs, especially since they delayed it to clean up bugs. But how buggy is it? Is it as unplayable as Vanguard was on Xbox and PC in its beta? Or is it just going to be a few silly bugs here and there, and that's the end of it all? Another thing is, of course, with gunplay. We know that armor has been of concern for a lot of people in regards to how that's going to affect the time to kill. Again, going back to Battlefield 5, which changed its time to kill several times. Is it going to kind of throw that sort of thing off? Is it going to make the gunplay and the time to kill very inconsistent for people? That's another thing to look out for. How's the netcode going to be? Are we going to be dying around corners quite a bit? Again, it's a beta, but there's a difference in, okay, well, that's just kind of a cause of the beta, and oh my god, this game needs to be delayed a year. There's definitely a fine line there for the game. At the end of the day, the biggest thing that I want to take away from Battlefield 2042 is it a fun experience? It can be so many different things that can be defined as fun. But when I put down my controller after a stream or after just playing on my own, am I going to say, I had fun in this game, I want to play more? Because that's a massive thing to nail. Because some games, not gonna name any names, but there are games in this series that make you not want to pick them up again. It happens. But that doesn't mean that they can't do a really good job with it, and so far things are looking good in my opinion. Then again, that's why it's such a big deal to finally get our hands on this game, to see what it is for the very first time and make our own opinions about Battlefield 2042. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below how you guys view the beta. How are you going to approach it? Let's have a conversation, and I will see you guys for the first time on the battlefield.